Section 4.6, square root and the Pythagorean theorem. So first, it is handy to know the perfect squares. The perfect squares are 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, and so on. So those are any number where you have a whole number that is squared. For this class, you probably only need to know them up to 169. So if 5 squared is 25, that means the principal square root of 25 is 5. So this symbol here is called the principal square root. Why is it called the principal square root? Well, can you think of another number that you can square and get 25? Well, it turns out that 25 has 2 square roots, because if you square 5, you get 25, but you can also get 25 if you square -5. So the principal square root of 25 represents the positive square root of 25. When you get into algebra, you'll need to remember that there's also a negative square root. How do you find this on your calculator? So your calculator has a square root button. It's above the x squared. So you have to hit the second function, and then the x squared key, and then the number, and then it equals. Where do we use the principal square root? Well, one application is from trigonometry. When you have an angle that's 90 degrees, that's called a right angle. When you have a triangle where one of the angles is 90 degrees, that's called a right triangle, and the long side is called the hypotenuse. There's a theorem that relates the lengths of the 3 sides of a triangle. It's called the Pythagorean Theorem. So if the 2 short sides are A and B, the long side, or hypotenuse, can be found. It's the principal square root of A squared plus B squared. So let's do this example where we want to find the hypotenuse of a triangle, of a right triangle, whose sides are 3 and 4. So we just plug that in to the Pythagorean theorem. So C is equal to the principal square root of 3 squared and 4 squared. And you will recall from the order of operations that you do the inside of a grouping symbol first. So 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. 9 and 16 make 25, and the principal square root of 25 is 5.